Hey folks, we've got another instructional video for you today from Clean Water Systems. We're going to show you how to change out your filter media, and this is the SIG 2 version that has the orangish red colored bypass valves. And as you can notice, our setup here, we have our inlet shutoff valve, our outlet shutoff valve, and our sample valve. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and put our system in the bypass mode. You do this by basically turning your levers here to the off position where they face each other. So basically you've bypassed your tank, your inlet pressure's coming in, your outlet pressure, so you still have feed pressure to the house, but you've isolated off your system. I did want to also mention whenever you're servicing your system, if you have other systems in line, water softeners, pre-filter, sediment, iron filter, anything like that, we recommend you go ahead and put those in the bypass mode as well, just to make sure all your systems are isolated out while you're doing any repairs. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is relieve the pressure that's in the cylinder before we remove the valve. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and manually place the system into a backwash mode. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and hold the set change button, and that's going to flash in at a 1. Go ahead and press it again and hold. This will steer the valve into section 1, which is your backwash mode. Okay, and basically you'll see the pressure and a little bit of water come out your clear drain line in the back. Once you've seen that, your pressure has been released. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cycle on through the steps by pressing the set change button. Number 2 is into the rest. Number 3, again, we're holding the set change button. We're going into backwash cycle rapid rinse. And again, you have no water coming in, so you'll hear nothing coming out. And then we're going to hold one more time. This is going to go back to 0, and we'll be back into service mode. Okay, now we're back in service mode, going back and forth between the time and the days left to regeneration. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull the power plug and shut the power off to the control valve. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is disconnect our drain line here. And as you see, this little blue clip pulls straight out. And again, you might want to have a little bucket handy because there's a little residual water in these when you remove them. And this guy pops straight out. And what you'll do, as you can see, there's an O-ring here where it seals. Make sure you put the little blue clip back in so you don't lose it. Okay, on the bypass assembly, you can see there's metal clips. These actually hold the bypass assembly together. So if you notice, there's these metal clips here between the valve body and the bypass assembly. Again, these are in the closed position, so you have water pressure here. So we're going to go ahead and separate the bypass assembly from the valve. And this basically is just using a nut driver to loosen the screw, and then as you can see, that little metal clip is keyed in there, so we'll just go ahead and remove that. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the one from the other side. Again, make sure you do not disconnect the back ones. The back ones, there is pressure here. And we'll go ahead and remove this one. Now again, you're going to want have a bucket because you're going to have a little bit of water here trapped. And all you're going to do is work this loose and separate that out. And as you can see, your bypass valve here has a sealing surface, and the valve side has O-rings here that fit into there. So that's really a great way to disconnect your filter media tank, and you still have water pressure to the house. Okay, we're going to go ahead and unthread the control valve from the filter media tank. Again, these should only be hand tight, so you should be able to loosen these. You never want to use a strap wrench or anything to tighten these down with. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. Okay, and we'll go ahead and remove the control valve. A couple things you want to look at as you're removing this is inspect your O-rings here for your bypass valve. Also this main O-ring that seals the tank to the control valve. And then there's also the O-ring in here that seals the D-tube to the valve. So you want to look at those, and if they're damaged or anything, you're going to want to replace those.